Long live the morning routine. Long live friendly competition. Long live cozy nights at home. And long live healthcare that works with your life. Access to great doctors, simple mobile app, convenient locations across Long Island? Absolutely. You have options, but at Catholic Health, we'd like to remind you to choose you first, because we did too. Long live you, and long live Long Island.
From Gold Star Stadium here in Mineola, New York, it is a Catholic AAA showdown. The champs are here as Iona Prep has made the journey from New Rochelle, looking to extend their winning streak to 16, where the Flyers, they are looking for their biggest signature win of the year. It is Iona, it is Chaminade, all right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Today's Catholic League Showdown is brought to you by Catholic Health. Long live you, and long live Long Island. Well, a pleasant good afternoon, everyone. Dylan Butler alongside Brian Soper for what should be a fun matchup here between Iona Prep, defending champs, against the Chaminade team that is trying to get back to their previous glory, right? They've gotten some good wins so far in the year. Chaminade has, winning on the road in overtime against Seton Hall Prep, against Archbishop Stepinac. But listen, there is no doubt this is their stiffest test of the year.
Yeah, we got some wind coming in this weekend. You know, it's the offense right, of Iona Prep with Guzman, Davis, Wolf, Perillo. A lot of offense, averaging 44 points a game. But this Chaminade team in year two of Coach Claro, new faces, new places, some injuries, starting to figure it out. They're going to give their best effort today to try to pull off an upset. Yeah,
we saw Iona Prep a week ago, out at St. Anthony's, and a big win there. They faced a little bit of adversity, which they really haven't had to for much of this regular season. St. Anthony's had an onside kick. They rallied, and then right away, Guzman to Perillo, 72-yard touchdown. And Joe Spagnuolo, their head coach, said he liked what he saw. Not that he was surprised, but he liked seeing how they rebounded off of some adversity.
Yeah, that was a crazy one-hand catch by him. But, you know, before the half, we had Simmons creating a turnover. Willie Davis with the interception really swung momentum in that game. Here they are back on Long Island, right, trying to take down two of Long Island's best, and St. Anthony's followed up here by Chaminade.
And this is trip 2 of 3. They're making this almost a weekly situation. They're going to be at Kellenberg in a few weeks. But when we talk Iona Prep, let's take a look at their players to watch and two guys they're going to be leaning on today. Up front, Anthony DiNapoli. He's that horse, right? That 3-year starter on the O-line. It's straight out of Central Casting, what an offensive lineman should look like. And Mamadi Sangaré last week, if you weren't there and if you weren't watching the game on the Varsity Media Sports Network, you'd be like, wait, those numbers aren't real. But in fact, they were. The defensive numbers that he put up last week against the Friars, unbelievable.
Yeah, DiNapoli, one of the best linemen, you know, in the entire conference. And Sangaré, close to 19 total tackles last week. See him play some offense as well. DiNapoli and Sangaré lead the way for Iona Prep.
So now Chaminade, they come into this, like you said, year 2 under Tom Claro, 4-2, 2-1 in the Catholic League, right? Some really good momentum-building wins, we said, right? Listen, these are the two teams out of all of these Catholic school teams to have, the only two to have wins in New Jersey, right? Where a win over Seton Hall Prep for Chaminade, Iona beat Paramus Catholic. You follow it up with a win at Stepinac, but then you stub your toe a little bit, right, against St. Peter's. So now there's adversity there. How do we respond? And Tom Claro said he liked the response from his guys against St. Francis Prep last week.
Yeah, you see two seniors leading them out on the field, Lucas Smith and Declan Miller, and maybe doing it in a little unconventional ways, right? Bakir's 2 touchdowns in special teams last week against St. Francis Prep. You're going to have to do it in some different ways with some new inexperienced faces and spots. So they're really starting to play their best football right now this season.
We'll take a look at their players to watch here, and he was born as Henry. They call him Hank around here, and Peterson, big target tight end, but really good at soft hands. And Lucas Smith, listen, you can call him a D-end, you can call him a linebacker. One thing is for sure, he is coming at you with full force.
Yeah, Tufts commit. He's going to have to be jumbo today, right, for Chaminade all over the field. And Peterson really filling in for that injury to Murray at tight end, really doing a good job becoming one of the go-to guys for Sean Carnivale.
So it is Chaminade, it is Iona Prep. Keys and opening kick when we return on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Katie Ledecky. As an Olympic athlete, you might think staying healthy is easy for me. Truth is, we all face challenges. Keeping the right mindset is how we achieve our best personal performance. At Catholic Health, the same focus on wellness and prevention that I follow every day is the way they think too. That's why I'm teaming up with Catholic Health to help make healthcare even more positive, proactive, and personal for every person across Long Island. Long live you, and long live Long Island.
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
And it's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves. Now's your chance to score a touchdown with Varsity Media's ISO video. Video footage that focuses on your athlete only. Perfect for recruiting reels. Spots are limited, so reach out today. Email jeff@varsitymedia.net to book your next ISO video with Varsity Media. Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
Back here at Gold Star Stadium. At the 40-yard line. Walking towards midfield. There you see the Gales of Iona Prep making their way to midfield. Captain's meeting, the Iona Prep head coach, Joe Spagnolo, in his 10th season, a 1998 graduate of Iona Prep. Won the Catholic AA championship in his time with the Gales. Played QB at Siena. Bryant, hey, he was slinging it a little bit in the pregame. Still has it. Coach Spags, as he's walking out towards the 50 right now. On the other side for Chaminade, just year 2, but another product of this Catholic League. Tom Claro played here. graduated 1992, former Stepanak O-line coach, coached the tight ends, and was an assistant offensive line coach at Fordham University as well. Had his first coaching gig here in the Catholic League with Xavier. So now let's take a look quick, if we can, at the keys to this game. Soap, as we spoke with both head coaches leading into this.
Yeah, Iona Prep wants to block the box. You know, they're looking for some exotic pressures from Chaminade, get off the field on third down, and like always for Coach Spags, win the turnover battle. Chaminade, right, limit their big plays. Iona Prep, you know, Guzman, Davis, Wolf, take the top off on any play, put pressure on their QB, and control the game on offense. Ground and pound, make this a limit the possessions of Iona Prep.
Yeah, kind of keys 1 and 3 go together, don't they, right? Limit their big play by keeping their big play players off the field. Potentially one edge that Chaminade has, if you go throughout the offense, defense, quarterback, whatever, a lot of checks in Iona's direction, right? But the kicking game, I think, is one that Chaminade could potentially exploit here this afternoon. Justin Jones, an excellent kicker and punter for the Flyers. But it will be Chaminade to receive to start things off. And it's Rob Esposito to kick off for the Gales.
Yeah, Bakirs took one back, 96 yards against St. Francis Prep. Let's see if maybe they try to keep it away from the BU Lax commit.
It's like Sean Powers is deep as well for the Flyers. This kick up the middle, returnable. It does take a bounce, and here is Bakirs from the 7-yard line. And not much of a return, as now it'll be Chaminade on offense and leading the way. A guy who a year ago, right, was the heir apparent, and now it is Sean Cannavale's job, the junior from Bayville, getting better week after week.
Yeah, terrific arm. Love his quick decision-making. 65.7% on the year accuracy. 9 total touchdowns, replacing Tim Murphy as the signal caller. Right, so far so good for the junior. It's got to have to be a big day for him today.
So it's Chaminade 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line. That was Bobby Fasci who was in motion. Handoff up the middle. It looks like a gain of about 2 yards. I believe that was Anthony Trapani. Here's your starters. Blades, Trapani, they're going to be part of a rotation at running back. Genovese, Powers, Peterson, and Fasci up front. It's a younger offensive line with Cassidy, Latamata, Miller, Durnan, and Claro. That's right, I said Claro. The coach's son has earned his spot as the starting right tackle. And some motion here on offense. But that was a cool story, right? Tom Claro mentioned. Listen, he's up from the Claros live up in Rockland County. He played at Tappan Zee a year ago. Came to camps here in the summer. Really, Claro threw a little recruiting his way on one of those trips back over the Tappan Zee Bridge and said, "Listen, how about it? You wanna come to Chaminade?" He did. He wanted to earn his spot. He didn't want anyone saying there was anything about nepotism, and he certainly did do that. That was an offensive penalty and good knockdown there for Iona. Let's meet their starting defense. It's Farrell, Harley, and Trujillo up front. A really good linebacking core led by Willie Reeves, Presley, Camacho, and Simmons. In the secondary, it's Lewis, Materia as your corners, and Poole and Sangaré at your safety positions.
You saw Josh Simmons, Jr., 6'5", 240 with that knockdown on the screen pass. He wreaked havoc in the St. Anthony's game, especially in the second half.
Carnevale tucks it under, kind of dives towards the 18, well shy of the first down marker, so 3 and out for the Flyers. They're forced to punt, and this is the part of the game that we have mentioned where maybe there's an advantage here for Chaminade because you've got a terrific punter in Justin Jones. 8 of his punts this year have been inside the 20. Your holder is Michael Genovese. Your long snapper is Anthony Trapani. Line drive punt. It'll take a bounce and actually take a little bit of a roll there for the Gales. So it's down at about the 44-yard line as here's Julian Guzman and Iona Prep making their way onto the field. Guzman, some excellent numbers on the year. The Maryland baseball commit out of Ossining. 1,100 yards, 70% completion rate. Really quality numbers on the year.
Yeah, 15 for 23, 309 yards and 5 touchdowns against St. Anthony's. Can really sling it. If you don't get pressure on him, it's pitch and catch.
First play from scrimmage, they go to their guy, Crew Davis, who crosses the 40 before he's down. Let's meet the starters offensively for Iona Prep. Joining Guzman and Davis, you've got Wolf and Perillo, Lewis and Cassidy, some terrific wide receivers up front, some big dudes in Galino, Cade Lewis, Mailspin, Guerrero, and DiNapoli. Mailspin was a game-time decision.
Yeah, Dylan Moulage in there, 71, 6'8". You see him at tackle.
Guzman goes over the middle. That's incomplete. Looking for Cassidy. Let's take a look at the starting defense for Chaminade. Up front, Chabis, Arias, Jemison. Your linebackers, Smith, Trainer, Vachetta, and Trapani. In your secondary, Bakirs, Kusoff, and your safeties are Sykes and Mastronardi.
Saw a great job there. Pass defense by Liam Trainer, senior, 39 tackles. Stony Brook lacrosse commit on defense. Nice knockdown.
That was a completion to the right side. That was to Sangare, and that will be good to move the chains for Iona.
Yeah, Sangare, just a junior, over 7 D1 offers, a captain of this team. You see how physical he was there with the run. When he plays defense as well, not afraid though for a little contact.
1st and 10 from the Chaminade 32-yard line. Here comes Crew Davis. Stiff arms the first would-be tackler, finally forced out inside the 20.
Yeah, Crew Davis, as if, Guzman and the receivers aren't tough. You have one of the best running backs around, UNC football, and lax commit. Explosive runner, also can catch it. First down run.
Last week had 19 carries for 120 yards and a touchdown in that 50-36 win at St. Anthony's.
Yeah, 8 touchdowns for him.
They motion Cassidy. Fake handoff, pressure comes. Guzman rolls out of it, tries to tuck it under, and that's what Chaminade wants to do. What was key number 2? Pressure the quarterback, and they certainly did that in a big way.
Yeah, Kusoff, finishes the job, but what a great play by Trapani. Unbelievable looking junior, both in the running back as well as the linebacker position. Coach Claro says perhaps the most talented guy on this team. You see him get in the backfield, use his speed to have Guzman need to scramble.
A flag was thrown, and I think it was a sideline warning. There's Alex Toussaint, our referee.
Right, Julian Guzman is so dangerous if he has time. I like the pressure there by Chaminade to get him off his spot.
Results in a big loss.
Yeah, nice pursuit by the defense as well. Had about 4 Chaminade helmets getting to him.
And the big man is in there now. Dylan Moulage. Pump fake by Guzman, rolls out to the right. There is a flag on the play. He angles himself out, but this one's going to likely come back for the Gales.
Guzman with the carry.
Yeah, some more pressure. Looked like Liam Trainer got in there. First-year starter. Knocked down, now a pressure. Perhaps drew a penalty.
Alex Toussaint, one of the best officials in this Catholic League. And there you see his signal, the offensive holding penalty.
Kind of similar to what Spagnola told us, with the St. Anthony's trip. It's not easy coming to the island, right? The bus ride. Sometimes you leave some plays on the bus. It takes you a little while to get started. So far, some real positives from the Chaminade defense.
Although, to be fair, it's a little more manageable to get the Mineola on a Saturday afternoon than South Huntington. Here's Sangare. You want to get him in space. There's a flag. as Guzman was hit. This is likely going to be a roughing the passer penalty against Tom Jemison. And you could see Jemison's reaction right away, putting his hands up like, you know, we want to pressure the QB, but maybe a little bit too much there.
Yeah, here we see it. Kind of a slant pattern. Sangare, another catch.
And then you tack onto it, so.
Yeah, it turns, you know, looks like we got a first down.
Yeah, it was like a second or a third in Long Island, it
Yes.
felt like, and all of a sudden now it's a fresh set of downs for the Gales.
They were on Seville Avenue, and now they're in the red zone.
So the way that the Iona offensive line with Mailspin out, Guerrero goes to center, DiNapoli goes to right guard, and then Moulage goes to right tackle. And some motion, a lot of penalty flags early on. So this is illegal motion on the offense, which will back them up 5 yards.
Yeah, perhaps it's just some different guys in different spots, you know, having to do some different things on the line.
You would think with all the airtime that he's getting that Alex Toussaint is our referee to watch here today.
You know, and Spags said it. He goes, you know, they're exotic with their pressures. We see it so far. They've gotten some pressure in the backfield, you know, so definitely got to be on your game if you're the line for Iona.
They go back to the same play with Perillo rolling out left. Here comes Davis, lowers the shoulder, and you love the physicality by the UNC football lax commit.
Yeah, always willing to square his pads up, but he has this real gift to get skinny in the hole, kind of gets sideways, right? It makes him a tougher tackle.
2nd down and 8.
So a 2nd and 8 from, we'll call it the 19-yard line.
Yeah, Davis over 2,000 total yards last year, 23 touchdowns. Just an absolute monster season.
Low snap. Guzman fires this way, incomplete. The intended target was the junior Lamar Lewis.
Yeah, Lamar Lewis is a great-looking junior, 6'3", 175, two-way starter. But how about the start for Kusov on the outside, the 6'3" junior, 2-year starter? You see his experience.
So a 3rd and 8 here. Perillo, look at the pitch inside. Can Iona get the first down? They cannot. That was Chase Reeves with the run for the Gales.
Similar type of play on the goal line, you know, against St. Anthony's. That one went to Davis.
So decision time now for Spags. Looks like they're going to go here, 4th and 1.
Reeves is that sophomore, the future, 5'9", 200.
Here's Davis. The cut inside, first down and more. Touchdown, Iona.
We saw the future get close to the sticks. There's the present. Unbelievable job. The finisher follows some lead blocks up the middle. Kid just knows where the end zone is, takes Trapani with him.
Esposito on to kick. Aiden Cassidy is your holder. Tyler Wells is your long snapper. Snap is low, kick is up, and it is good. So Crew Davis touchdown has given Iona Prep the 7-0 lead. You're watching this Catholic AAA showdown right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media @Varsity Media. high school sports fans. Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Welcome back to Gold Star Stadium. Dylan Butler, Brian Soper, our entire Varsity Media crew. It wasn't exactly how Joe Spagnuolo had it drawn up, but still the result is a 7-0 lead on that Crew Davis fourth down touchdown run.
Yeah, they capitalized on the roughing the passer, and, good job by 32 P.J. Gallo, the junior fullback who kind of led Davis into the end zone.
Esposito's kick is returnable. It's the up man at about the 15-yard line. Liam Traynor, it looked like, downs just outside the 30.
Traynor with the return.
So Chaminade, their offense back on the field on the season. Soap averaging 27 points per game, but as we mentioned in the open, you're taking a step up here in competition against an Iona defense that has only given up 21 points per game.
Yeah, you saw them try a screen pass early. Look for them to kind of capitalize on the pressure that Iona wants to bring.
Handoff, there is Trapani meeting him at the point of contact. The Macho Man.
Macho Camacho.
Eric Camacho with the tackle.
Yeah, he had, he's matched his jersey number in tackles against St. Anthony's with 10 all around the ball. It's not very often that one guy takes down the talented junior Anthony Trapani in the hole, but you saw Camacho take care of business there.
Trapani does get a couple of yards there on a first down run. Fake handoff. Carnevale rolls right. Kind of floated one in the direction of Michael Genovese, but they will say he made the catch.
Genovese with the reception.
Claro talked about both these receivers, Genovese and Powers, kind of look the same. They're talented, they're fast, possession type, sure-handed as you see here. Not an easy one to grab.
Which brings up a very manageable third down now for the Flyers. A 3rd and 1 from the 39.
Yeah, Claro's looking for those guys, Powers and Genovese, to really break out in the second half of the season.
And look at this, little trickery. It's intercepted. Or not. Was it dropped? That's what it looks like the officials are indicating. So you go to the bag of tricks for Chaminade. It was Trapani with the pass. It looked like it would be intercepted by DJ Smith, but he dropped it.
Yeah, nice job coming back to the ball. Sean Powers maybe disrupting that interception. He was definitely the intended target as Trapani rolled out to his left.
So now Jones will punt for Chaminade.
I had visions of the Chief special there, rolling out lefty.
Hey, that's next week.
Yep.
Perillo backed up. This will take a nice bounce for the Flyers before it is finally downed at about the 13-yard line.
Yeah, nice job by Justin Jones to flip the field position.
Hit a 49-yard field goal earlier this year.
Been perfect on the extra point as well, 19 for 19.
Yeah, Claro says the only times that it's been on the execution. It hasn't been on his kicks. And this is what we said in the open. Jones could be a difference maker for Chaminade, both in his ability to punt the ball and also kick it as well, making Iona go practically the length of the field here. Now, granted, they've got playmakers who don't need a lot of time to do just that.
Yeah, you got to find 11, Joe Wolf.
Well, they found Crew Davis there. It was Trapani with the tackle.
How good is this kid? Junior from Belmore. Just comes in like a rocket. Short tackle on Davis. 48 tackles on the year coming in. Just a tremendous athlete, 2-2.
Yeah, 5'8", 180, right? So he's not that prototypical looking linebacker, but tough as nails, super hard to block when he's running the football.
So strong.
Yeah,
just,
really
just
fun
a
to watch.
Weight room guy, chiseled.
And you hold Crew Davis there to 1 yard. Fake handoff, fumble, and the Flyers have recovered.
Guess who? Lucas Smith, all face painted out, going to war today. How about, listen, the punt. Justin Jones pins him deep. You get a turnover. Smith, the captain, always around the ball. Jay Savetti from Tufts is getting a great one. Defensive leader. No one better but him.
And now the Flyers need to capitalize on this situation. A 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line.
Got to cash in if you're the Flyers.
Trapani, the lone back. Powers. Now options inside. Handoff Trapani. Powers through the hole and gets to about the 5.
Yeah, just a strong physical run right up the gut.
2nd down and 5.
So 2nd and 5 from the 6.
Yeah, Claro mentioned kind of, Trapani's kind of that lead guy, but running back by committee. Blades, Trapani, some Wallace as well. We see Wallace in there now, the Navy lacrosse commit.
I think this is an official's timeout. Handoff to Wallace. Flag on the play. Maybe gets a yard, but it looks like this will come back. Alex Toussaint will have a false start on the offense. And those, when you're in the red zone, those kill you. So this backs them to the original line of scrimmage, back to the 11-yard line.
Yeah, the Iona defense has been pretty stout so far against the run, giving up a few yards a carry. Now you start to, add, passing plays into the mix.
And now you got the big boys in, right? Your double tights, Fashi and Cassidy. Sliding attempted catch. That was incomplete. Wallace, the intended target.
Yeah, Wallace, a senior, 5'8" from Bayshore. 8 carries for 55 yards on the year. Heading to the Naval Academy for lacrosse. Another flag.
Yeah, we have seen a ton of laundry on the field. Pass was that an offensive pass interference? So now the Flyers will back up even more.
Putting a lot of stress on the chain crew. Making sure the box is right, the chains are right.
All the way back out to the 21-yard line. Genovese at the top of your screen. You've got well, we'll back them up even more to the 25.
2nd down and 25.
Carnevale, quick out. Finds Aaron Blades. He angles himself out of bounds. The senior from Hicksville,
Blades with the reception.
just his 4th reception of the year.
Yeah, Blades, 5'7", 175, one touchdown in the year. You see his receiver skills, was moved from wide receiver to running back to fill a need.
16.
Real strong runner.
Now you didn't need to get all of those yards back, right? So you get some of it back on that 2nd down, But now a huge play for the Flyers early on. Carnevale back to pass. Flushed out of the pocket. Rolls right, looks for options, and just throws it towards that chain crew. As it looks like the Flyers will look to attempt the field goal here.
Yeah, Deshaun Harley, 54, one of those guys in on the pressure, junior, 6'3", 280, scholarship-type lineman. Coach Spags talked about him being a breakout player this year for Iona.
So here comes an attempted 34-yard field goal for Justin Jones. Michael Genovese is your holder. Anthony Trapani is your long snapper. The kick is up, and it is good. So Jones now 6 of 11 in field goal attempts.
35-yard field goal is good.
Not exactly what you wanted when you get the ball at the 11-yard line, but you do get points, Soap, on the scoreboard.
Yeah, Jones punted it down there, and he finishes the job with the field goal. That was good from 35. Probably had an extra 15 in that kick. Shows a real strong leg.
So some points there for Chaminade.
Yeah, I mentioned before McCoy Wallace. He's reopened his lacrosse, commitments, right? So he's looking for some other options. Sorry about that.
I thought it literally just happened in the span of this broadcast. I thought you had some breaking news.
No, I did not. I went off some lacrosse notes and
that's all good.
that darn internet.
And now Jones had a terrific punt, had a great field goal, and now a line drive, bouncing kick, fielded at the 10-yard line. Looks like that's Sangaré. Angles towards his sideline, and he joins his boys just outside the 50. Quality return for Sangaré.
Sangaré with the return.
Coach Spags told us right away. He warned us. He was like, Sangaré, he does it all, right? He may be the best all-around player in the entire league. You see him on offense, defense, returning kicks. I haven't seen one better.
And again, the numbers last week, outrageous, right? 19 tackles, but probably more impressive than that even is the 11 solo tackles against the Friars. So 1st and 10 for Iona from their own 45-yard line. Fake handoff. This one's tipped and intercepted. A host of bodies out of bounds.
His name is Luca. Luca Smith gets his paw on this. Boop, tip drill. You do it every day in practice.
Intercepted by Sykes.
Shea Sykes, the sophomore. How about that? You go from freshman team right to the varsity.
First interception of the year for Sykes. Back-to-back forced turnovers.
Yeah, Claro said that this 5'8" sophomore from Bayshore is kind of like the QB of the D. He's in the spot that makes a lot of the calls. Lucas Smith, great job getting into coverage. So Smith, he recovered a fumble there. That's 5 fumble recoveries on the year. Has a sack, 4 forced fumbles. Kid does it all.
Got a pass deflection.
Yes.
Fake handoff. Genovese comes this way. What a diving grab. It was Carnevale to Genovese.
Yeah, Genovese, 6 foot from Massapequa. Talented, fast.
First down and 10.
Sure-handed. What a grab. What a ball by Carnevale. An absolute dot.
For Genovese, the junior from Pequa, his 19th reception of the year. Came in with 18 catches for 226 yards.
Love that, right? Change of possession, take a shot, throw it downfield. Stay ahead of the chains now. No more penalties.
1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. Here's the handoff. Flag is thrown. It was Blades who pushed forward about a yard, it looks like.
Blades with the carry.
Aaron Blades, guy, didn't get a chance to play a lot last year. Started the year at wide receiver, But a lot of guys there, right? And you can't have Trapani running the ball 25 times. So moved, and this is a personal foul against the Flyers. These penalties are racking up against Chaminade.
Yeah, chop block looks like, went down low. You know, this Chaminade offensive line, still a work in progress. A lot of guys who came into this year, winning spots. Cassidy, Latamata, Miller now playing center, right? Christos Cassis, right, went down with an injury. Dernan, tough kid, rugby guy. And then you have Clara with a transfer, right? A lot of moving pieces and guys who earned their spots.
So now it's a 1st and 25 for the Flyers. Carnevale, pressure comes, dumps it out to Peterson. He'll get a few of those yards back, dives past the 40-yard line. Hank Peterson, good-sized senior, right? 6'4", 205. After that injury to Brady Murray with that broken leg against Seton Hall Prep, he's been the go-to guy receiving for the Flyers.
Yeah, losing Murray was a big blow, kind of their go-to guy. Now it's Hank. Blocks well, he's physical. See him slip out there on the screen, but good job by Orion Trujillo, seniors, 5'11", 230, two-time starter. You see him get in there real quick with a speed rush.
Inside the final minute of the first quarter, another flag is thrown. Carnevale was bobbled momentarily by Powers and incomplete, but let's see what this flag is here. Back out to the busiest guy in this first quarter, Alex Toussaint. So Toussaint has the discussion with the Iona sideline. What do they want to do? And they decline the penalty, which was a false start.
3rd down and 23.
So it's a 3rd and 23 here for the Flyers. Again, in these early stages.
Are they in Jones's range? What do you think?
He's hit a 49er.
It's like 4 fantasy points over 40.
Carnevale back to pass. Has the time, angles it out, and that again in and out of the hands of Powers. The senior from Massapequa Park, usually so sure-handed.
On the positive, right, very accurate ball. Great job by the line holding up. We saw 54 Cole Mayo in there, senior, 6 foot 230. He's been moved from the D-line to play some O-line. Real good form. He stood up there to a blitz by the Iona front 7.
So Perillo is deep on punt return, and it is it is Jones here to kick. See if he angles it here. Will it be down inside the 20? Indeed it will. So this is the 9th time this year that Jones has put a punt inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, nice job by the special teams. Kelly Knapp Jr. getting down there to down the football on the 9. Right around the spot where that fumble recovery by Lucas Smith.
So the Flyers playing it safe, playing the field position game. Iona leads this one 7-3. Final 33 seconds of quarter number 1. Guzman. Oh, that bounced off the turf. So that'll be incomplete. It was an inside pitch. We saw that earlier to Chase Reeves for a positive gain. This time it bounced off of Reeves.
Yeah, stops the clock, 24 seconds, 2nd and 10. I think this is a big possession for the Chaminade defense. If they can get a stop on this possession, I think Clara will be super happy where they're at in this game.
Handoff. Davis going nowhere.
Have a first quarter, Liam Trainer. first-year varsity. Could fool me. He's been all over the place. Special teams, defense, pass deflection on the opening play. There he is. Look at this short tackle, wrapping up Crew Davis.
Yeah, so that front seven has been very good this year. Trainer, a big part of it for the Flyers. So Iona take a 7-3 lead into the second quarter. And a big reason why is because of this guy, Crew Davis.
Follow 32. P.J. Gallo leads him into the hole. Davis finishes it. Grew up a Patriots fan. Going to play for Coach Belichick. One of the more special talents we have in this conference.
Second quarter up next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
What's up, it's Sean Lights Out Merriman, former Charger and Bill, and you're watching Varsity Media.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we're not just regional heart experts. We share our greater success with the world. We don't just pioneer technology. We do it more than anywhere on Greater Long Island. And we don't just win awards. We deliver greater outcomes for people like you. As New York's only specialty designated cardiac center, we're not satisfied with just being good. This is Long Island. This is St. Francis Heart Center. And greater lives here.
Back here at Gold Star Stadium, first play of the second quarter, as it is Iona with a 7-3 lead. Lamar Lewis makes a big first down reception for the Gales.
Yeah, Lewis, great job getting the proper depth on that route, getting right to the sticks. This kid is a two-way player, checks all the boxes.
Guzman, the fake, gets it out past the 30. Nice tackle on the play by Nick Fischetta.
Yeah, right up the gut. Good job by Galino, Cade Lewis, Guerrero, DiNapoli, blocking that out. Kind of like a fake pitch. Got some over pursuit. Kept it. Goes up the middle. Fischetta with the tackle for Chaminade. His 37th tackle on the season.
I have a hot take for you. Ready?
Yep.
Iona is only going, they're not going to be, get that in a second as I'm trying to figure out my exact words, but Davis wrapped up there. They're not going to be sloppy for very long. So you take advantage when you can, and it's starting to feel like they got that out of their system in the first quarter, playing better in the start of the second.
That's why I think this possession's so big. It's like you could be playing this close and then all of a sudden score a touchdown. Now it's 14-3. You know, if you can stop them here, keep it a one-possession game, and it starts with 55. Matt Arias, right, the junior, one of the best D linemen in the league. He combined there on the tackle, him and Smith taking care of business.
Yeah, Lucas Smith already committed to Tufts, the senior from Glen Head.
Yeah, let's see if we could get Chabas has 3 sacks on the year. Jemison has 3 sacks on the year. Sack would be huge here.
Instead, you just called his number, and a big tackle on Crew Davis for Jemison.
Pretty safe to say this first quarter, right? The line of scrimmage, you know, Chaminade, you know, is winning some of these battles in the trenches. Great job by Jemison. Just an absolute worker. Coach's dream, does everything Coach Claro asks him to do.
And that is a little bit of the difference, right? The O-line is young, a work in progress. The D-line, though, that's experience. And as we mentioned, that front seven has been stout this year. 3rd and 11 right now. Perillo in motion. Guzman ducks under pressure, still under pressure, and he's taken down. Jemison was in pursuit.
Guzman with the carry. 4th down.
Yeah, just good coverage. Unbelievable job. Keep pursuing, never quit. Jemison gets off his block. You got Tom Cassidy as well.
And you called Chabas. There he was as well on that tackle. Here's the punt. Fair catch is called and caught.
Yeah, Cassidy, Levittown kid, 6'3", 225, won the position, plays some lax. People say he's undersized. I don't think he's got a heart.
So now Chaminade, after a couple of possessions that started inside the red zone, now they will begin this drive from their own 38-yard line.
Got to get points. Got to capitalize. Touchdown, field goal. Be clean. No more
penalties.
No more penalties. Definitely don't want to turn it over.
Fake handoff, and there you go. Powers had a few bobbles in that first quarter. That one jumped up, got his 23rd reception of the year.
Nice, quick, safe completion. Carnevale's been real accurate so far in the opening stages, as he's been all year, close to 66% accuracy. You know, also look for him to run as well. 20 carries, 3 touchdowns on the year. So far, it's been Powers and Genovese on the outside handling the catching duty.
And now he's under center. There's the handoff. Blades, I believe, or was that McCoy or Wallace? We'll see when they emerge from the pile. It's either 5 or 6. It is 5. Aaron Blades with the carry.
Yeah, Brennan Presley, number 2, middle linebacker, in on the tackle. He was the defensive MVP in that CHSFL final against St. Anthony's.
Big play here for the Flyers, 3rd and 1. Genovese at the bottom of your screen, that lone receiver. Carnevale, look at this. You said he'd rush it. Looking like he's on the goal line, pushes forward to get the first down.
Yeah, nice push by the offensive line. You know, why not run behind 6'3", 295, 3-time starter Declan Miller, brother Seamus. He was a hog molly up front for the Flyers as well, playing at Trinity.
Famous Seamus. So big move of the chains there for the Flyers.
Yeah, Miller was a top 100 Newsday player to start the season for Chaminade.
Well, the Gales got back in enough time. Carnevale overthrows Genovese.
Yeah, Matera in on the coverage for Iona.
Second and 10 from the 50. Now for Chaminade.
Yeah, you see Claro on the outside, that transfer from Tappan Zee, coach's kid. Definitely all the 6'4", long, lanky.
There's a handoff up the middle. You get a couple of those yards back with Blades on the carry. But, yeah, you said it with Claro. He kind of lives 2 lives, right? He still has all his boys up in Nyack, up in the Tappan Zee area. You know, but as is the case, right, you come to Chaminade, you get invited to parties, you get invited to people's houses, so.
Yeah, he blocked down there. Good job by Willie Reeves. And Deshaun Harley's been really good so far for Iona.
3rd and 7. Look out, Carnevale, the pressure comes his way. There is a flag, as that was incomplete. Let's see what Alex Toussaint has drawn up here.
Yeah, pressure by 0, Austin Farrell.
And I think this will be declined, as it's an offensive holding penalty against the Flyers.
Yeah, the line was holding on. You know, Farrell, 6'3", 290. More known for his run-stopping ability, but you saw him attack the passer there, one of the top D linemen in New York State.
And now, Soap, we play the field position game again with Jones. Earlier, put his 9th punt inside the 20-yard line. Snap is high. Jones has to back up a little bit. Does get it off, and it's a good one. will take a big Chaminade bounce, fielded at the 1. Now there's a conversation among the officials. You heard some of the parents in the stand saying touchback. And it might have even taken a deflection first.
Where did it hit somebody earlier?
That's what I thought. Maybe we could take another look if we have the opportunity.
They don't have the replay assist like the NFL.
All right, let's see. Did it hit? I thought it hit an Iona player there, which actually would make it.
I know.
Chaminade ball.
Wow.
Did it hit
number 4?
The foot of Willie Reeves. That's where you throw the flag. You throw the
challenge flag.
Challenge flag. Give your Claro. So maybe Iona gets away with something there. Can you imagine a third possession starting inside the 20 for Chaminade here? From his own end zone. Look out. Pressure comes his way. Finding Crew Davis. And what a tackle. How many times have we called Shane Sykes' name?
Yeah, 20 tackles on the year. He's just so smart. You see him read this. Trapani gets a little pressure. Another shoestring tackle. Add an open field tackle to his already interception. This Chaminade defense is flying around.
And nearly, right, like a few inches it felt like away of maybe getting a safety here.
Yeah, guard Perillo and Wolf. Do not let these guys make a big play here.
Again, from the middle of his own end zone. Hand off to Davis. Breaks the first tackle. Breaks 2 more. Angles outside. Still on his feet. What a run by Crew Davis.
Some things you just don't teach. That's hours of hard work in the weight room, speed and agility. 4 Flyers had him in his sights. Just watch this little jump cut. Trapani's first. Whoop, there's a second.
And then watch,
there's a third.
He's going to duck under here.
Who needs blockers? Get skinny. Unbelievable job by him. Huge, huge play by Crew Davis.
1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Feels a little bit better if you're Julian Guzman, who rolls out and gets about 8 on that first down run to get the ball from your center when you're not in the middle of your own end zone.
And I think it opens up the playbook as well. I think Chaminade's pressure they've been getting on Guzman, makes those dropbacks very difficult, on the 1-inch line. Now look for them maybe to take a shot.
2nd and about 2. The bottom of your screen, it'll be trips left. Wolf, Perillo, Cassidy. Ooh, some movement up front. This time no flags. Now Davis feeling it a little bit. Crew Davis cuts inside. Davis beats another man. Crew Davis finally blew a tire inside the 25. There is a flag back at midfield, but this is special.
Yeah, he took over last year in that final against St. Anthony's. 23 for 244, 4 touchdowns. He has that ability.
And all of that is for naught. Offensive holding against the Gales. And again, it's a little bit of a changed offensive line, right? Again, you lose mail spin, and even just that little bit of forcing guys over just one step, they're out of their comfort zone.
Coach Spags told us, he goes, Chaminade's really good at these exotic pressures, mixing it up, stunts and different things on the line. I think it's really, paying off.
So 2nd and 4 now for the Gales. Little cadence, hard count by Guzman, trying to get the Flyers to jump. You love these chess matches, don't you, right? Like you said, the exotic pressures, the O-line, the special players. That's what makes this Catholic League so special. Hold on. I think it's a play clock, or did they get the timeout off? They did. So just, I think, before that play clock hit 0.
You know, we're used to talking about a Spagnola, right, on defense pressures, right, for the Chiefs. You know, Spagnola's worried about the pressure from the guys in red today in Chaminade.
4:13 left here in the second quarter. 7-3 is your lead for Iona. We take a look at some of our upcoming sportscasts. Some soccer coming up. Uniondale and Massapequa on the girls' side. Hills East and then East Islip. And then next Saturday, you and I will be out at Farmingdale for the latest edition of arguably one of the best rivalries in the Northeast. Massapequa and Farmingdale, a rematch of last year's Conference 1 championship game won by the Chiefs.
What's your early guess on total points?
Give me a second to process that question. Here's Guzman. Guzman looks for blockers, gets one by Cassidy, and he's angled out at about the 35-yard line. Good to see the official there on the near sideline pop right back up. I'm not going to go over, I don't think. I don't know. That could be a defensive.
Okay. We'll see. Look at Jemison. He's had himself a heck of a second quarter. Trapani comes off that block to finish it. Just love the relentless pursuit by these linemen. Cassidy.
I don't know. Now I'm second guessing myself.
Jemison.
Now I'm thinking points. Now I'm thinking
those running backs.
Now I'm thinking 35-30 kind of game. First down run for Guzman. We'll also be here next week as there is an official's timeout here or an injured. Oh, it's like timeout for Iona. But also at the same time, I mean, talk about rivalry Saturday, right? We will be here as well. Not you and I, but we as a Varsity Media Sports Network will be here for the latest chapter of St. Anthony's and Chaminade as well. And that should be outstanding as we take a look at the last 3 years for Iona Prep. And, they play deep into November, these guys.
Yeah, 11-2 last year, won the title. Davis just absolutely took over for Iona, the Gales. It must have felt really good after back-to-back losses in the final. Looking to repeat, easier said than done.
And they're one of those programs like Cardinal Hayes, who we saw last night lose at St. Anthony's, that has climbed the ladder in this Catholic League, winning an A championship, a AA championship, and now 3 AAA championships.
Yeah, what a great job so far by defensive coordinator Tom Elder, former Flyer All-League linebacker.
Although number 5 in white feels like he's starting to heat up here.
Yeah, Elder coached defense at Endicott College, now here for Chaminade. Been dialing it up all afternoon so far.
2nd and 4 now for Iona. We've seen that change this year in Crew Davis with the maturity of being a senior, realizing what the next level is. A little bigger, a little more explosion, a little more twitch, a little thicker, more definition to his body. Here he is. Good stiff arm by Davis. And after a first quarter that was maybe a loss of 1, a gain of 1, you're starting to get a lot of positive yards on each of these carries.
Yeah, nice gang tackle in there by Chaminade. He didn't make the tackle. He got a stiff arm from Davis, but Trapani was in there to at least stop Davis's momentum, allow for his boys in red to catch up. Big third down here.
Crew Davis, the senior from Fairfield, 6'2", 205. Here comes Sangare. And a burst by Sangare past the 50-yard line. Man, you get this guy into space, he is a freight train.
Yeah, you got to make decisions. Right, just downhill when he squares those shoulders, the combination of speed and finishing of the run. That had first down written all over it.
That was like the 227 coming into the Mineola train station down the block. Guzman fakes it. Jemison part of the pursuit along with Trapani. Another pump fake. Guzman keeps it. And he'll get out at about the 30-yard line. Quality run for the QB, Julian Guzman.
Yeah, he wears 15. Big fan of Mahomes. Looks a little bit like Mahomes here. All things break down. Throw some pump fakes, get guys in the air, hunt the sticks, and finish the run.
And again, you move the chains. 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. Trips left for the Gales as we are 2 minutes and 2 seconds away from halftime. Back to Davis. And this time, it looked like it was Smith, the first in on the tackle.
Yeah, the defensive leader has been as advertised in this first half, all around the football. Just his speed, his ability to beat the block.
There's an injured flyer on the field with 1:41 left now in the first half.
Yeah, that's Arias. He was fighting it before, a couple of possessions before the timeout.
And that's been a big story, unfortunately, right, for Chaminade this year. It's the injury bug, which has hit this team soap in a big way.
Yeah, catcher Kazis on the line. You had Murray with a broken leg.
Yeah, Murray suffered that injury against Seton Hall Prep. His numbers were ridiculous, right, through the first. That was the 3rd game of the year. Murray had 16 receptions for 135 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was that go-to guy. Had to then turn out to be Hank Peterson.
Yeah, losing Christos on the line, that's your center. Usually your center is the guy who makes all the calls and kind of puts guys in the right spot. Great job by Declan Miller filling that void, moving into the center position.
Yeah, selfless, right, from a guy who was a 2-year or 3-year starter at right guard, or 2-year starter at right guard. Now he's moved over to center.
Yeah, he's a captain for a reason.
Guzman, the pump fake, rolls out to the left. He's got a lot of room to move. He utilizes that room and, again, angles his run out of bounds. Good stuff by Julian Guzman.
They just put so much pressure on you. You have Davis, and they spread you out with those receivers, you know, and when you lose contain on the outside, it allows a guy like Guzman to show off his speed.
As the rain starts to fall here in Mineola. 90 seconds left. And you mentioned Elder. They didn't like what they saw Chaminade defensively. So they call a timeout with 1:30 left in the first half. We're expecting some bad weather, at least tomorrow. It's hit early here. We'll take a quick timeout. Final 90 seconds of the first half when we return to the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
Back at, as you can see, rainy Gold Star Stadium. Cassidy in motion. Guzman, where is he going to come? Back this way. Fires a dart. A diving catch, incomplete. Lamar Lewis. What an effort from the junior from Stamford. but the officials say no catch.
Yeah, Ben Bakirs, he plays lockdown D-Midi on the lacrosse team, BU commit. He's in on the coverage. I love the line here. Watch them keep him inside the pocket. Good job of containing him. Real good coverage. Forced him to try to throw that into a very small window.
Guzman using that baseball arm of his, right?
Yeah, I think that was Cassidy, 58, did a good job kind of keeping containment there, not allowing Guzman to get all the way outside.
2nd and 10, the fake to Davis. They go to the outside to Perillo. It was Perillo in South Huntington who made the play of the game with that 72-yard one-handed grab over the middle that really changed momentum in a big way. It was all Friars at that point, and then he helped make sure that Iona came away from Suffolk County with a win.
That was a huge play right around midfield. He caught it, took it to the house. Good job by Trainer there to make that tackle. Brings up 3rd down.
Guzman. Where's he going to go? Guzman. He's going to the ground. Trapani says no.
Yeah, Trapani's another lacrosse guy. Plays short stick D-Midi. But, man, is this kid a football player, ball hawk. Just patient, doesn't go for any pump fakes, locks in, makes a tackle, bringing up 4th down.
Trapani will give him a sack, right? 2nd of the year.
I mean, a bit impressive, right? We mentioned him in the open, Anthony DiNapoli, the senior, 6'4", 275, offers from LIU, Central Connecticut State. He's been absolutely blowing people back off the line of scrimmage.
Big, big play here. So, chance of defense coming up from the Chaminade faithful. Here's Guzman. Plenty of time. Guzman, flag on the play. Guzman tucks under. Still on his feet.
Oh, my God.
Still on his feet. Listen, this is going to come back. A second flag.
It's fun, though.
That'll be a block in the back.
Oh,
interception! Multiple flags. An interception. That was in the end zone.
Coach Elder going bananas.
A lot to process here, Soap. But ultimately, 2 penalties that'll be declined because you get this at the end.
He runs right. He runs left. Just watch the red pursuit. They don't bring him down, but
By the way, watch 71. Here comes your second penalty. Little block. There it is. Block in the back. Tip. Boom.
Unbelievable. Is that Joe DeVita? 26, another sophomore. I think Elder got, I think he got 10 feet high jumping up and down.
DeVita, we weren't sure how much we'd see of him again. What part of that, the walking wounded. But the sophomore from Floral Park cleared to play in this one and makes a huge play. Bend, but do not break.
Hey, you got to tip your cap to the Chaminade defense. That was a huge stop. 14-3 is a lot different than 7-3. You fly into the locker room here.
And Chaminade gets the ball coming out as well of the 3rd quarter.
Cherry on top of that finish.
But the defense, they're bringing it here. Joey D.
1 a flyer, 2 a flyer, 3 a flyer, all around the ball, flying to it.
But ultimately, after all of this carnage and all of the laundry, Joe D.
2-6. The
makes
future.
The INT. He's the present as well.
I think his thumb's okay, Dylan.
Halftime here at Gold Star Stadium, 7-3, the lead for Iona Prep on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. Now's your chance to score a touchdown with Varsity Media's ISO video. Video footage that focuses on your athlete only. Perfect for recruiting reels. Spots are limited, so reach out today. Email jeff@varsitymedia.net to book your next ISO video with Varsity Media. Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
Long live the morning routine. Long live friendly competition. Long live cozy nights at home. And long live healthcare that works with your life. Access to great doctors, simple mobile app, convenient locations across Long Island? Absolutely. You have options, but at Catholic Health, we'd like to remind you to choose you first, because we did too. Long live you, and long live Long Island.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media @Varsity Media. Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
If you're looking to optimize your sporting event, look no further than Varsity Media's coverage. Since working with them over the course of the past 4 years through the Elite 5 New York City Football Showcase, their coverage has helped take us to the top.
Varsity Media does an unbelievable job in terms of the broadcast, backgrounds on kids, do a great job of exposure from top to bottom. I couldn't really say anything negative. It's been a great couple of years that we've been working together, and it's just fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you, the fact that you guys are here has helped grow it, really. I mean, Varsity Media's been a good partner with us now for the last couple of years. That brings this game to a much broader audience.
The level of detail and that you go to, I mean, obviously the announcers, the camera angles, the slow motions, I mean, you feel like it's being covered by, ESPN.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Help keep Varsity Media's broadcasts free on YouTube by considering an advertising sponsorship. Our coverage of local games helps local businesses get visibility in the community. To learn more about our sponsorship packages and rates, email ben@varsitymedia.net.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media @Varsity Media. Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
Well, I've been working with Varsity Media for, 14 years. When we have video needs, whether that be a game, whether that be a practice, whether it be social media, it's nice to know that somebody understands what we're looking for without asking for it.
We started working with Varsity Media back in 2021, and since then they've been an absolute game changer, putting our event on the map. Varsity Media couldn't be a better partner, and if you're looking to optimize your event, I couldn't recommend them anymore.
It's been great for us. The kids really get excited when they know that Varsity Media is going to be here. Not just what's happening on the football field, but all the excitement that's around it. It really boosts the environment here, and everybody gets really excited for what's going on.
Varsity Media is reliable, professional, and their quality work is fantastic. It's like watching ESPN. The announcers are unreal, really do a great job of speaking to the coaches to get the knowledge of the players, the season, what's going on with the team. There is nothing better than Varsity Media doing a live broadcast.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is 75,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck. For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we're not just regional heart experts. We share our greater success with the world. We don't just pioneer technology. We do it more than anywhere on Greater Long Island. And we don't just win awards. We deliver greater outcomes for people like you. As New York's only specialty designated cardiac center, we're not satisfied with just being good. This is Long Island. This is St. Francis Heart Center. And greater lives here.
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
There's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
Back at Gold Star Stadium. It's halftime here, and it is Iona Prep with a 7-3 lead over Chaminade. We welcome you inside the booth once again. Dylan Butler alongside Brian Soper. An entertaining first half, right? We talked all about the big-time playmakers for Iona. So many different guys you can go to. The Chaminade defense, though, stood strong, and that front seven, as you mentioned, really good. But the secondary coming up with some huge plays as well.
Yeah, Wolf without a catch in the first half. He's that big play guy for Iona Prep. You know, 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery. Coach Elder's dialing up the blitzes and
he's pumped
and the pursuit. And it's just, you know, one of those things where they're keeping it at a one-score game, and then anything can happen, right? Last week, Bakir's had 2 special teams touchdowns. They're getting the ball, the kickoff to come out of halftime. You never know, but if you were to tell Coach Claro we're at 7-3 at halftime versus this 44-point, he'd sign up right now.
Away. Let's show you some of those first half highlights. And it started with a special guy, right? Crew Davis. This is on a 4th down run. Finds the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, great blocks. Lead block by Gallo. Unbelievable. Trapani's been all around the football, tackling. There you see Lucas Smith picking up they couldn't cash it in. They got a field goal off of that. And this is the wild play to end the half.
I think there's like 2 blocks in the back. Milage will get the second one. Huge credit for Julian Guzman just to stay on his feet here.
And I think it's Cassidy Smith right in his face. Ball gets tipped to DeVita, the sophomore. His hand looks fine, back from a broken thumb. Future, super coachable. Defense, defense, defense. Bend, don't break is the Flyers' motto so far.
7-3 Iona. We will return for the start of the second half when we come back here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age.
Our follower base across social media is 75,000 strong,
and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
There's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves. Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
Back at Gold Star Stadium, Dylan Butler, Brian Soper, our entire Varsity Media crew getting set for the start of quarter number 3. A tight game here in Mineola. Iona Prep with a 7-3 lead. You could see some of the raindrops on that camera. Again, we knew a bigger storm was coming into tomorrow. Wasn't sure about the rain and how that would affect things, but you see the temperature in your top left. Good, comfortable conditions, certainly, to play football. And coming out for the start of the second half will be Chaminade football.
Yeah, I think both teams, went into halftime, kind of reset, said, let's both play a little cleaner second half on offense. A lot of penalties.
And I apologize. It's Iona who get the ball coming out. I had that one wrong. Deep Materia for Iona along with Sangare. And here is Jones. A big boot on him. Backs up Sangare inside the 5. That's where he will return from.
Uh-oh.
Look at him go. All the way to the house. Yeah, he is the best all-around player in the Catholic League. What a start to the second half from Mamadou Sangare.
Yeah, the Iona coaches didn't even make it into the box yet, and he makes a house call close to 100 yards. 94 yards, 96 yards to be exact. Untouched, speed on display, house call. Special teams playing a huge role. First 12 seconds of the third quarter.
Sangare, the junior, which is scary in itself. Offers from Buffalo, Bowling Green, Yukon, Temple, BC, Syracuse, and Minnesota. And now Esposito on for the PAT attempt. And that is a line drive, a low one, but through the uprights. And what a start of the second half for Iona.
Just like that, you got a 2-score game right out of the half. Bakirs did it last week for Chaminade. A 96-yarder, kick and a punt.
And Sangare, and this is part of what makes him special, right? It's you spot him on offense a little bit. We know his ability defensively, but it's the third, 1/3 of the game. And the special teams that was on display in a big way there.
Yeah, does it all defensively. He tackles, he covers, has the speed. We saw him make a big first down catch where he knew exactly where the sticks were. Just an absolute all-around stud.
So now we go on the other side, and we've seen Ben Bakirs make a couple of returns for touchdowns last week against St. Francis Prep.
Yeah, they flipped him. He was on the right side, now on the left side. See if they adjust.
Esposito goes up the middle. It'll be returned by Bakirs at the 6-yard line. And how about that tackle flying in a big way. Michael Drummy.
Yeah, Drummy did a good job shedding his blocker. Was not going for the Bakirs, dancing. Wrapped him up, took him down.
He's like, I've seen enough of that on film this week.
Yeah, Drummy, 6'1", 190. See him on defense at that linebacker position. They like to use him in some speed packages. He got down there in a jiffy.
Chaminade offense sputtered a bit in big situations. Nice first down run there by Trapani.
Yeah, good job. It's just, size sometimes is at your advantage, being a little smaller, getting behind those big linemen, churning out some yards. Good first down carry for 5.
It was Lamar Lewis on the tackle there for the Gales. Here's Carnevale, rolls right. Throws, looking for Genovese, and that is incomplete.
They've looked for him a couple times by that sideline.
3rd down and 5.
Showing off his arm strength there, Carnevale. It's a long throw to get to that sideline, just falls incomplete.
So now a 3rd and 5 for the Flyers. And one of the keys that Tom Claro mentioned to us was having extended drives, and they really haven't had that in this one. Now's a good time to get a first down if you're the Flyers. Carnevale. That is complete, but short of the first down marker. It is Genovese who makes the grab at about the 25-yard line. So he's a couple of yards short, which will bring on the punt unit for the Flyers.
Yeah, Willie Reeves stepped up, the junior. He was the best player on the JV last year, one of the better players on defense this year. Nice short tackle before the sticks.
Perillo is deep. He's at about the 40-yard line, his own 40, as it'll be Jones to punt. Trapani, you see the long snapper. No pressure for Jones there. Backing up. And actually went off of Trapani's noggin.
Oh!
So here's part of the problem, though, right? Like, that's going to be a personal foul against the Flyers, but Perillo just kept going. The whistles were blown, so.
Yeah, Latamata takes him out on the sideline.
So ultimately, I think, right, the ball hitting off of Trapani's helmet, as you see the officials huddling there and pointing out where the ball would be, that's what stopped the play, right? But then Perillo continued to make his run. And then as she said, and as this Iona crowd to our right made the sounds, he got hammered. A lot of penalties in the first half against the Flyers. And let's see what Alex Toussaint has here. After the play, personal foul against the Flyers. And that is the only penalty given, so it'll be Iona ball right at midfield.
First down and 10, Iona Prep.
Yeah, you feel momentum just tilting to the Iona side. Maybe we haven't seen a catch yet by Joe Wolf. Definitely want to make sure we're covering him.
Davis getting those legs limber.
Tree trunks.
Yeah. He gets the carry. Pauses, tries to get the push, and he's taken down after a short gain.
Davis with the
Yeah,
carry.
Lucas Smith in on the tackle. See him at the bottom of that pile. Good to see Matt Arias back in there, a little bit banged up.
Second down and 8.
Physical, strong specimen on the D-line. Twitchy. Kind of moves all around that D-line. Claro thinks he's one of the best D-linemen in the entire league.
Guzman finds Cassidy. Another flag is thrown, though. Cassidy avoids a few tacklers. Taken down.
Cassidy with the reception.
But again, there is a penalty in the backfield. And this will be a hold on the offense. Not the cleanest game this afternoon, Soap.
Yeah. Yeah, Cassidy's long catch negated by a penalty. You see that pressure, just relentless up the gut. I think that was Jemison again, man. He's absolutely been living in the backfield.
I think that was the young buck with the penalty.
Second
Dylan
down,
Moulage,
20.
6'8", sophomore from Yorktown Heights.
Yeah, Jemison wants that fourth sack on the year. Moulage again. Uncle played at Georgia Tech. Erdy has a Syracuse offer. Plays hoop at 6'8", 340. Good luck guarding him in the post.
Guzman, pressure comes his way. Somehow avoids Trainer. Comes back, and that's an incomplete pass. But how many times have we called out Liam Trainer and how disruptive he was in that first half?
Yeah, he's shown the ability to tackle at the line of scrimmage, get pressure on the quarterback, showed us his ability to cover in space. He's a defenseman going D1. You see why, your ability to move side to side laterally and pursue the ball. We've seen a couple 3rd and longs that they've kind of shot themselves in the foot. Chaminade, you want to get a stop here, be clean. Looks like they're bringing some heat.
And I think Iona saw that as well, as the Gales will have to burn a timeout.
Timeout. Iona Prep.
As we take a look here during this Iona Prep timeout at some next level guys and some special players there who have come through this Iona Prep program.
Yeah, Jalen Hicks, Minnesota, rowing the boat. Clemson, Rowan Byrne would play alongside some of these guys last year. DiNapoli was next to him, right? Johnny Shepard, Washington State Cougars, NC State, Justin Jolly, right? And Goodard, right, at Syracuse. Syracuse does a great job recruiting this area. Iona, I think they have a couple of guys on this list that are going to be heading to some big-time programs, D1, D2, D3, all over the place. Big-time talent.
Off the timeout. So clearly Iona saw what you saw, Soap, and they wanted to talk things over.
Yeah, it looked like they were bringing some heat on the right side of that defensive line. That's 7 guys all at the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 20. Quick out, Sangare again, and it's Trainer again.
Yeah, good job by they sniffed out that screen. Why not get into the hands of Sangare, his ability to make big plays. Bunch of hats to the football. Great pursuit by Trainer. But again, Fischetta was there, causing that play to maybe take a different avenue.
Casidis on for the punt, and what a punt it is. Fielded at the 5-yard line, and no return for the Flyers. It's a great job by Casidis, making sure it's long field here for Chaminade.
How about the job by this Chaminade defense? Giving up 1 touchdown, in traditional defensive set. This is a team that scores 44.2 points a game, and you're limiting them to a 4th down carry for a touchdown and a special teams return.
And Chaminade, to this point, they're only giving up 20 points per game. But it's on this side of the football where they need to cook a little bit. The defense has done the job. The offense has struggled to put drives together. Carnevale fakes the handoff, looks this way, has a man. What a grab. And the officials will say out of bounds for Sean Powers. Let's see, was he or was he not?
I think it's a great call by Chris Atchison, one of the best officials around. I love the idea of rolling the pocket.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, he was right there. Unbelievable call by him. Game of inches. But nice job by, Chaminade rolling the pocket. Definitely been throwing those out routes.
It is tough to run against that front of Iona. They will attempt that, though, here. Fumble! And it looks like Chaminade has recovered.
I think that's Brennan Presley, number 2. Comes off the edge, boom, hits right on the football, knocks it loose from Trapani.
Camacho was like, wait a minute, there's the ball.
3rd down, 13.
Good awareness, jumping on that football. But there's not much space, like you said. That D-line, it's kind of a stalemate at the line of scrimmage. There's no real cutback lanes for these running backs.
And again, kind of a younger offensive line for Chaminade as well. That's the thing that Claro said. We're not very big. Carnevale, he will go long, looking for Powers, jump ball, and that will be a pass interference penalty called. Xander Poole, the culprit.
This is what you need. You got to move the chains by any means possible. Good job holding up by that offensive line. Kind of a jump ball, underthrown.
That's a great job there by Powers, right? Because he makes a play for the ball, and by doing so, forces the official's hand.
Yeah, and that's on Poole, right? He's an FCS prospect, really good cover guy. Brother plays at LIU. Dad played football at URI.
Well, a break here for the Flyers on offense. Although they made their own break. Again, credit to Powers. So a 1st and 10 now. Genovese in motion, faked handoff, quick out to Genovese. And right off of that, Poole's like, I didn't think I had a pass interference, but I do know I'm getting a TFL here.
Yeah, seek and destroy. This is what makes him a real big prospect. Sees the ball, hunts it down, short tackler.
Poole's second tackle for a loss this year. That was for 3 yards. The Chaminade offense desperate for that big play. They've not really been able to take the top off the Iona Prep defense. A lot of guys in the box, a lot of flags have also derailed their progress. And that is another one. Alex Toussaint's got a full start against the offense.
Second down and
So
18.
it backs the Flyers up 5 more yards. They're at their own 10. They've got to get to the 28-yard line just to get a first down. Carnevale back to pass. Quick out, a little bit too quick. Peterson was his intended target.
Yeah, Camacho, was all over him, looking for Hank. It's just tough, right? Everything's real quick outs, screen passes. Really hard to get this defense off of the box, right? They're really close to the line of scrimmage. Even though you got a pass interference call, I don't think there's a lot of fear in the Iona defense of taking that big shot.
Now another false start penalty. That was at the top of your screen. Bobby Fasci.
Yeah, just a sophomore. Dad is the tight end coach here. JP was an unbelievable player here at Chaminade. Went on to Georgia Tech. Played in the NFL. Started with the Jets in 2004. 2 total career touchdowns for JP Fasci.
Handoff up the middle. Camacho in on the tackle. And that was one of those situations where, again, you played a little bit clean, right? If you're Chaminade, you don't want to get an interception, certainly. So you try to get a few yards back and hope for a big boot here from Jones.
Yeah, don't be shocked if Iona Prep, the Gales, try to come after this one.
Cassidy is deep for Iona. Jones, and this is a snap by Trapani that's got to be dead on because Jones is right at the back of his own end zone.
Yeah, Willie Reeves.
The snap is very good. Nearly blocked, a short one, but it will take a very good Chaminade bounce before it is downed. I like that by Trapani, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of trickery, like kicks it a little bit forward, wants an extra yard or two.
Yeah, Xander Poole really was hunting that football.
We showed you the Iona next level players. And when we get a chance, maybe at a point during this drive, we'll show you some of those guys for Chaminade here with 5:36 left in the third quarter. Good field position here for Iona.
Got to get a turnover if you're Chaminade, or a turnover on downs.
Here's Guzman. Look out. Trainer brings the pain. This is a jump ball. Oh, my goodness. Joe Wolf nearly made a one-handed grab.
I mean, he almost caught that, but I'm just impressed. Rolling out to his right. That's about 45, 50 yards in the air by Julian Guzman, showing off that D1 baseball arm.
And Bakir does just enough, right, to harass Wolf there.
Wow, that's some arm talent by Guzman.
Yeah, we said going to Maryland to play baseball. Guzman, Jemison. Make sure he doesn't go anywhere.
Let's see that spot. I think that's going to be a sack. Right at the line. Up. Just a tackle for Jemison. Kid's been all over the football. Great IQ there to stay with the quarterback.
Yeah, Jemison, a 2-year starter, 5'11", 200, out of Babylon. Twin receivers at the top and bottom of your screen. Crew Davis.
Elder with a little hand signal shift on the D-line.
Guzman, that's Cassidy. Forced out.
It's a good tackle.
Cassidy with the reception.
Good tackle to keep him short of the first down. Decision time.
That was Kasuf, right?
Yeah, Kasuf. Been really active. You see him, he's an energy guy. He's been pumping up the crowd, getting his hands up. Really somebody who's bringing the energy for this defense and being strong on the back end.
So the Gales will go. Like the decision of where they are in the field. And actually it'll be a timeout for Iona. And we mentioned it before. We take a look at some of those guys for Chaminade who are playing next level football. So
yeah, look at the big guys up front, right? We got Wesleyan double dip, right, with Welch and Orfanis.
Those
right?
are captains, co-captains.
Co-captains, Wesleyan, the Cardinals, right? Charlie Battaglia at Stonehill. Tommy Stuber, MIT. Must be pretty smart. Nick Rinaldi, Davidson, go Wildcats. Coach McKillop was a grad here. He does a couple speeches here earlier in the year. Love seeing Davidson, Coach McKillop representing Long Island, and Rinaldi doing a great job down in North Carolina.
And that's just a handful of guys. That graphic only holds 5. We could have gone deeper and deeper in that list. A lot of guys from last year's team.
Yeah, they lost a lot of guys, right? Gerbasi, right? A lot of good, really good players. That's what Coach Claro said, is that, you know, we lost a lot of guys, you know.
8 of them playing college football right now. Here's Davis on 4th down, and he will move the chains.
Yeah, ran up the middle. Good job by Abe Guerrero, senior. Neskak looks by him. Was a tight end. See him leading the way. PJ Gallo's in there as well. Nice job by him as a fullback. You know, running behind DiNapoli and Moulage.
Gallo, another coach's son. Guzman, pressure comes from Trapani again. Guzman gets out of there.
Oh my
Still
God.
on his feet. Julian Guzman looking for blockers, finds one in Davis. And he's forced out. Yeah, Mahomes-like indeed.
Jemison and Lucas Smith are like, how in the planet did we not bring him down? Trapani was in there like a rocket ship. He goes for the strip sack. I thought he had it. Smith went for it. Jemison Man, you're right. Guzman's going to play baseball, but there's got to be a lot of football schools saying, hey, how can we get this kid on campus?
Even before that, he bounced off of Moulage, which is not easy to do.
Yes. No butt fumble.
A first down run out of a broken play for Guzman. Cassidy in motion. It goes to Davis. And Davis thrown backwards by Smith. It was Trapani who was initially in on the tackle, but it was Smith who finished him off.
Yeah, Arias, again, just hobbled. Looks like he got kind of clipped down on that tackle.
On those guys up front, right, he's the guy that looks the part, Arias. 6'2", 250, the junior, 2-year starter on the D-line.
They got to keep him fresh. You know, he could play offensive line as well.
Here's Guzman looking end zone. And that is a pass interference penalty, as it was Perillo who draws it.
It's only a matter of time when they look to take that shot in the end zone.
And this is one, I think, if Bakirs looks backwards, right? If he looks towards the ball, that might just be two guys jockeying for position, but he never made that look and just made the contact into Perillo, making it an easy call for the officials.
Yeah, they've been going at each other all day.
First down and goal.
So a first and goal now for Iona.
Bringing Camacho. Just forget how big Davis is.
Guzman follows his blockers up front. Bumbles and looks like awkwardly, but finds his way in the end zone regardless for the touchdown.
Yeah, Guzman might have, he might have run a mile himself on this drive. Good job by Camacho. Good job staying on the block. I think that's Guerrero.
Trujillo is there, 55.
Galino as well. Good job staying on their blocks, providing just a sliver of space for Guzman. That was Guzman's drive and caps it off with a touchdown.
And now Esposito on for the PAT. It is up and it is good. And Iona Prep now extending their lead. They have a 21-3 advantage. You're watching it all. You're watching it all right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Help keep Varsity Media's broadcasts free on YouTube by considering an advertising sponsorship. Our coverage of local games helps local businesses get visibility in the community. To learn more about our sponsorship packages and rates, email ben@varsitymedia.net.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media @varsitymedia.
So the Gales of Iona Prep making the trip to Long Island from New Rochelle on a Saturday afternoon. They've got a 21-3 lead. Julian Guzman, they will enjoy watching that play there, his third rushing touchdown of the year.
Yeah, that's not a slow turtle, right? Terp, kid can run, dual threat quarterback. Super impressed, back-to-back weeks. Opponents, at least, here on Long Island, showcasing his talent.
Yeah, last week had a terrific game against the Friars as Esposito's kick is returnable. And then it will be Bakirs from about the 12. But last week, Guzman against St. Anthony's was 15 of 23 for 308 yards, 309 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, and his ability to be a dual threat, right? He took one to the house against St. Anthony's in that final last year. I think it was 53 yards. Showed off his ability to make big plays with his arm as well as his legs.
And as Spagnolo has told us, it's nice to have a senior as the QB. Carnevale goes to find Blades. We've not seen a lot of Aaron Blades here today, but that's his second reception of the game.
you know, with this lead, 18-point lead, expect to maybe see him in there a little bit. Like we said before, wide receiver turn running back. He's good in the pass blocking as well. From Hicksville.
Said with pride by Brian Soper. Carnevale. Incomplete pass. It was Genovese the target. Good job defending there by Brennan Presley.
3rd down and 5.
Yeah, Trujillo, again, starting to feel it a little bit on the line. You know, 18-point lead. Chaminade, you know, they got to become a bit one-dimensional, and that's when you got guys like Lewis and Simmons and Camacho, Trujillo, Farrell get to pin their ears back.
3rd and 5. Carnevale over the middle, and that is also incomplete. So the momentum shift from the offense to the defense. Presley was in on that.
Yeah, and Frank De La Rosa, senior, strong thumper, weight room guy, 300 pounds on the bench, showed his ability to cover there.
So Jones back to punt. Cassidy and I think Perillo are deep for Iona. Trapani's snap is good. End over end punt. And it will take an Iona bounce before it is downed at about the 46-yard line. We have a huge Saturday next week coming up. We will be back here at Gold Star Stadium, where it'll be the rivalry renewed between Chaminade and St. Anthony's. The Flyers a year ago going to St. Anthony's and winning that game.
Was that week 0 last year?
It was. It was. Tom Claro's first game as head coach, right?
You think St. Anthony's has forgotten about that?
No. And then we will also be out at Farmingdale for another rivalry renewed. It is Rivalry Saturday on the Varsity Media Sports Network as Massapequa and Farmingdale will do battle. Here's Guzman getting some time off his back shoulder, and that's another pass interference penalty against the Flyers. Lamar Lewis was the intended target, and it was Kassouf, the culprit.
Yeah, Kassouf pretty much tackled him there. It's just so difficult. Guzman's put so much pressure on the secondary. You know, it's hard enough to guard these guys in, 2-3 seconds. When you start to roll out and have to guard people for, 10, 11, 12 seconds, it becomes impossible.
How would you like to be Pat Gallo, the OC, with all of these guys, right? All of these game breakers.
Yeah, a lot of mouths to feed. But this might be Davis' time. Try to churn this clock.
Well, the option's out to the left. Guzman will just dump it. I don't know about that. There was a receiver there.
Yeah, pressure by Lucas Smith.
Sangare was, if we see that again, and I think Toussaint might be having this conversation, number 9, Sangare, was in the vicinity. I think this one's got to get waived. See 9, he's right behind. Let's see what Alex Toussaint after this conversation has, and yeah, that's good call. Sangare very much in the vicinity of that ball.
2nd down and 10.
So 2nd and 10 now for the Gales. An opportunity here, Soap, to really put a lot of pressure on Chaminade.
Yeah, a little shifting of the line here. If you could ever, you have 3 turnovers caused this game. If you could ever get a 4th, that would be huge.
Guzman fires one to Sangare. First down, red zone time now for the Gales.
Yeah, nice job. A little slant. Right on the money. Fastball. Might have hit 90 on the radar gun, right into the chest of Sangaré. Great catch by him.
Sangaré stays in. He's that lone receiver at the bottom of your screen. Guzman's got Davis behind him. Back to Mamadi, and that pass overthrown by Guzman. He's not done that a lot this season. 70% completion rate on the year.
Yeah, kind of went trips to the left side. You have the threat of Davis in the backfield looking to get Sangaré out there on a one-on-one. Just sailed it high.
This is our second CHSFL game of the weekend. We were out in South Huntington last night. St. Anthony's on homecoming, beating Cardinal Hayes. Here is Guzman, pressured by Jemison. Gets out of that, gets a great block upfield by Cassidy, which allows him to, again, angle himself out of bounds.
Yeah, good gain.
Guzman with the carry.
Safe, didn't try to do too much with it. Run it out of bounds. Gain of 7. You know, I don't know who's going to have worse nightmares, right? Guzman getting chased by Jemison or Jemison having to chase Guzman all game. Those two have been really getting after it.
3rd and 5 for the Gales inside the final 2 minutes of the 3rd quarter. Here is Davis. Trapani got him by the ankles, and he just continued to pull forward.
Yeah, very hard to limit him to a loss. Just so big and strong.
4th down and 2.
It is 4th and 2.
This is where you get the chess match. It's as straightforward as giving it to Davis. Got one receiver out to the right.
It goes to Davis. He is met. Was he short? Elder and the Chaminade staff say he was. The officials agree. Big stop by the Flyers.
Yeah, huge job by them. Had Gallo leading the way for Davis. Good job by the left side of that line.
Here it is again.
Yeah, that's a great job.
Is that Trainer again?
Looks like 52. Shocker.
But 7 was up top.
Jemison.
Now, glass half full for Iona. You do get stopped, but again, you're forcing Chaminade to go nearly 100 yards to get into the end zone, which they've not been able to do this afternoon.
Besides the turnover deep, has Chaminade got it past the 50?
Only on the turnovers. They're not on. They had those 2 drives, right? One they started, I think, at the 11, and another inside in the red zone. As we're inside the final minute here of the 3rd quarter.
2nd down and 7.
Three-yard gain by Wallace. Trips left for the Flyers and some movement up front. And this against the Flyers. A lot of self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah, and we've seen it from line. We've seen receivers go a little bit too early. I think it's a lot to do with the pressure that Iona puts on you. You know you got to be quick off the line of scrimmage to block or get a step.
And it speeds up needing to think as well. And there's a positive run out of that. Really good looking stuff from Wallace.
Yeah, nice job by Wallace. Gets behind the line.
First down
Looking at a lot of D1 places for lacrosse.
Got a first down run. The clock, though, will wind down at the end of the third quarter. It is the Gales with a 21-3 lead. Thanks, Soap, to number 9 in white.
Yeah, 96 yards right out of halftime. Speed kills. Look at the strides on Sangaré. Making a house call right out of the halftime. Exactly what Coach Spags and the Gales needed.
21-3 Iona, fourth quarter, when we return to the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we're not just regional heart experts. We share our greater success with the world. We don't just pioneer technology. We do it more than anywhere on Greater Long Island. And we don't just win awards. We deliver greater outcomes for people like you. As New York's only specialty designated cardiac center, we're not satisfied with just being good. This is Long Island. This is St. Francis Heart Center. And greater lives here.
Back at Gold Star Stadium, some of the Chaminade faithful hoping for a fourth quarter comeback. Carnevale ducks it under. A short gain. I think, though, he did have Powers deep, but unable to find him initially, and then he tucked it under for about a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, Presley met him, short tackler. Iona will be fine with 4 or 5 yards of play. Clock working against the Flyers.
Powers at the bottom of your screen, Genovese at the top. Oh! Some miscommunication there as Carnevale's got to fall on the football.
Yeah, it looked like he was gonna pull it out of the belly of Trapani. Falls on the turf. Looked like D tackle, maybe Brady Morrison. Bunch of host of linemen were in there for Iona.
It's been a little bit of the story of this game, right? Offensively for Chaminade, you take a few steps forward and then a couple more steps back, whether it's penalties or miscues, as Carnevale's got to dump it towards this sideline.
Yeah, good luck trying to throw the ball over the top of Josh Simmons. Just 6'5", 240, still growing.
Down and 8.
Kind of set that edge and just gave Carnevale nowhere to go.
So Jones back to punt.
Yeah, Simmons already some looks, right? Dartmouth, Bowling Green, UMass, right? He's an elite pass rusher.
Good looking punt, backs up Cassidy to the 40, but here he comes. Aiden Cassidy's got blockers upfield. Aiden Cassidy, a terrific return. Materia, number 1, was the blocker upfield, and a really good return from Aiden Cassidy.
Yeah, I think that was Mike Ladomata saved the touchdown. Special teams has been really good in the second half for Iona. Cassidy was sniffing the end zone, and we had Sangaré make a house call right out of halftime.
So great field position for Iona. And an opportunity for them here to, again, really put their foot on this one. And a conversation, Spagnola with the officials. Not sure if it was about the spot. Spags, a lifer here in the Catholic League. Again, former quarterback here at Iona. After that, played at Siena and Bryant. Was the associate head coach and offensive coordinator at his former arch rival, right? Stepanak. That's never easy to go from one to the other, came back home to Iona and has really helped build this program into a regional powerhouse. Here comes Crew Davis. It helps when you have guys like this. Crew Davis untouched. Touchdown, Iona.
Just too much defense for Chaminade. Those guys got to be exhausted. Here's your finisher. Crew Davis comes off the side, bounces to the outside. No one to even block out there. He is the engine for this Iona team. Everyone else kind of can get open because they're worried about 5. One of the best running backs we've seen in a long time here.
And now Rob Esposito on for the PAT, looking to make it 21 unanswered points for the Gales. Blocked by Jemison. But there is no celebration right now for the Flyers. There was also, I think, a whistle
Extra point attempt is
before that.
The score is Iona Prep 27.
Regardless, though, 27-3 is a lead for Iona. We'll take a quick break, come back here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age.
Our follower base across social media is 75,000 strong,
and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Back in Mineola, Dylan Butler, Brian Soper. And Iona has not done it quickly, that is for sure, but they have over time taken over this game.
Just impressive. I think both teams, the score might not show it, right now 27-3. I think both teams have been super impressive on defense. Chaminade, just a lot of defense being played, and it's been very difficult for Chaminade to stay on the field offensively.
Esposito, good-looking kickoff. Fielded at about the 4-yard line by Powers.
Yeah, quickly down there was Chase Reeves, the running back.
First down and 10, Chaminade.
In this fourth quarter, when we get an opportunity, we'll show you the road ahead for both of these teams. It's kind of hard to believe. It's still pretty nice weather, Soap, and you're already looking at the final 3 weeks of the regular season. Handoff, short gain.
Yeah, counterplay. Sniffed out. I think that was 55. He's had a real good game. Orion Trujillo. Just a tireless motor by Trujillo.
I thought he was one of the unsung heroes, too, of Friday night's or last Friday night's win at St. Anthony's.
Yeah, and you see Morrison, 58, kind of been a closer for them on defense. 6'2", junior, 270. He transferred in from Fairfield.
Low snap. Here comes Carnevale. Nice block by Peterson. And the out is to Powers. And they'll say that was complete.
Yeah, they've been using the sidelines a lot. Let's see. You had DJ Smith, the cornerback, junior.
Yeah, hard to tell there.
Powers with the reception.
But they're going to give Powers the
First down
reception.
and 10.
So first and 10 from the 40. Carnevale fires it over the middle, back to Powers. Another first down.
Yeah, nice job. Good job by the line. We haven't mentioned him today, but good job by 71, Kelly Durnan. Look at him on the block here. Nice job by him. Dad TJ was a great lacrosse player here, went to Duke. His uncle played at Holy Cross, so the Chaminade Crimson and Gold deep in the Durnan family.
And he went there with Tom Claro at Holy Cross.
Yeah, cousin Jack played here last year.
You got 2 younger Durham boys on the freshmen as well. That pass incomplete.
Yeah, Kelly's a rugby player, so you know he likes to mix it up and get physical.
Second and 10 from the 45-yard line. Trips right for Chaminade.
You know, they've drawn a couple of pass interference penalties, right? Look to take some of those shots.
Instead, you go to a handoff. Look at this. Trapani. Will he be caught? What a tackle from behind. But the first really big play, Lamar Lewis saves the touchdown for Iona, but Trapani, a big run for the Flyers.
Yeah, Lewis just stuck out his arm and brought him down, but you see the explosiveness that Trapani brings, his ability to get in and out of cuts and get behind the line.
The way that he was driven down, I was like, oh no, is that a shoulder?
But the closing speed by Lewis.
First and goal from the 10. Carnevale over the top. Powers looking for a pass interference penalty. Lewis was the defender there, none given.
Yeah, nice job by Lewis in coverage. Good job by Claro in the line, giving him enough of a pocket to get that out. Chaminade would like nothing more than to capitalize on this drive and punch one in.
And again, you've got a really good kicker in Jones, and maybe you can onside something, and crazier things have happened. But first, you got to do the hard part, which is get in the end zone. And that is a hard part because Austin Farrell is bringing the heat.
Yeah, his Instagram is AJ the Hammer. You see it. His bread and butter is stopping the run-stopping machine. You see it there, 0. Pretty much what he likes to give up on each run, 0 yards. Great play by him, only a junior, 6'3", 290.
Yeah, he has shown glimpses. Spagnola figures by the end of this year, he's going to put that all together. And what a big part of this team he'll be again next year. Carnevale off his back shoulder, goes end zone, looking for Peterson. And that is no good. Incompleted pass.
Yeah, good coverage. DJ Smith, he's shown the ability to get up and press coverage. 11 tackles coming into the game. Good speed, physical corner.
Well, now you've got to go for it here, considering the time and the score. No first downs to be had. This has to be end zone or nothing right now for Chaminade. Carnevale fakes the handoff. Good blocking by Trapani. Pump fakes, goes end zone. Touchdown, Chaminade, Sean Powers.
Yeah, letting the D-back know about it a little bit. He's been the one guy who consistently has been getting open for Chaminade. His 4th touchdown on the year. Coach Claro says the second half of the year is looking for Powers to break out. Well, what a great route run there. Accurate pass by Carnevale. A positive drive for the Flyers.
Yeah, Powers is that possession-type receiver, but has shown glimpses and the ability to go deep.
Yeah, you love the feistiness there. You love the competitiveness.
Now you'll go for 2. Again, you need points if you're Chaminade. Carnevale under center. Fakes the handoff. Gets a nice block by Trapani. Looking corner end zone. Again, it was targeted to Powers, but that is incomplete. We'll take a quick break, bring you more of this Catholic Showdown when we return to the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Now's your chance to score a touchdown with Varsity Media's ISO video. Video footage that focuses on your athlete only. Perfect for recruiting reels. Spots are limited, so reach out today. Email jeff@varsitymedia.net to book your next ISO video with Varsity Media.
Back here at Gold Star Stadium, we take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Flyers. We mentioned it. They will be home next week. A big rivalry game against St. Anthony's. It's always a game that they have circled. They will head to Columbia University to take on Cardinal Hayes. And then another rivalry game right at Kellenberg. So if you are Tom Claro and you look at what's out there and how teams are, and listen, every game is tough, but you could see even the best case scenario of 3-0 down the stretch looking good heading into the postseason.
And I think this 8 minutes here is crucial. I think you want to go into the St. Anthony's game with momentum, positive vibes. You love to see what you saw there by Carnevale and Powers finishing off that drive.
It's not quite an onside kick, but it will roll.
Uh-oh.
Look out. Sangare's got to get it. Then he'll just slide. Plays it safe, as Iona will be confident in their offense and their offensive line. The Iona Prep offensive line has been outstanding. If we get a chance, we could show these dudes up front. And again, a little bit of a different look. Usually male spin is in at center. They've had to make a change, but there you see some big-sized humans on that line.
Yeah, Galeno, one of the more improved players on the team. Cade Lewis, future captain, according to Coach Spagnola. Guerrero, I think, has been tremendous today. And DiNapoli, as good as advertised. If I'm LIU, Central Connecticut State, I'm keep hounding him on the phone.
And, of course, also you see a lot of 71 there as well, right? As there's an out for Perillo, and he does a good job staying inbounds as you want to utilize this clock if you are Iona.
Yeah, Iona, they're not going to take the gas off. They're still throwing the ball, with the lead here. But look for a heavy dose of Davis down the stretch here. But they do have such confidence in their senior signal caller, Guzman.
A lot left on the play clock. It is down to 14 right now. One of the advantages of having the shot clock in lacrosse is now you can look at the play clock. Here at Chaminade, also at St. Anthony's. Crew Davis breaks a tackle, gets into the secondary, and Crew Davis doing Crew Davis kind of things, moving the chains.
Davis with the carry.
Yeah, just you see the size of him, just strong. He can run it, he can catch it. Same thing with lacrosse, right? He's a midi who can score the ball, also play defense. Great in the clearing game, dual threat ability all over the field, multiple sports. Chapel Hill is getting a good one.
Now, last night we got to see John Tillman out of Maryland make the trip up to Long Island. Saw one of his key recruits, Danny Rooney, play in the secondary for the Friars. As here's Guzman, tucks it under. He'll be at Maryland too. Tillman might see some of this on the baseball field.
Oh!
As Guzman, look out, and that'll be a personal foul as he lands into the...
You can't do that in baseball.
No. And now Guzman having some words with Bakirs.
That's BU lax.
Well, you could see right there, right? It was the stiff arm to the face, and Bakirs not a fan of that, so he continues his tackle. He's pleading his case right now to Tom Claro.
Even when I watch the NFL, it's the same thing. It's like defensively you can't do anything, but offensive guys, Derrick Henry, right? We see stiff arms in the grill.
That's why he's like Mahomes, right? A lot of times you see Mahomes kind of dance along the sideline and take a few extra yards when there's a defender who knows that he can't touch him.
Yeah, it's just constant cramping or just getting nicked up. Matt Arias, feel for him today.
Interesting. Offsetting penalties there. So I think they must be saying, I think it was on the jawing afterwards by Guzman that drew that second flag. So offsetting personal fouls. As things heating up a little bit here at Gold Star Stadium.
And Chaminade sideline trying to repair the kicking net.
It takes a village for Chaminade to do so. Now Justin Jones just leave it alone. I got it.
Let's keep our head, boys. We don't need any extracurriculars out there. God forbid we lose someone for the game or next game. It's not worth it.
And there's Crew Davis. And the physicality ramping up here in this fourth quarter. But Davis will move the chains.
I mean, you can't say enough about Trapani, right? He's not the biggest cat in the world, but he takes on Davis here at the end of this run. Two strong guys who know where the weight room is. Yeah, good job. I'd shut down Arias for the day. He gave you all he could today. That left leg just not cooperating.
Guzman. What a fake by Guzman. Brings the physicality. First and goal for the Gales. And again, jawing with Bakirs.
Yeah, he keeps it one-on-one on the outside. That fake pass, almost impossible in that amount of space to bring him down. You add a pump fake to it, it's good night. But 15 and white definitely wants to end this drive, perhaps with the ball in his hand.
First and goal, the handoff. That is your goal line running back extraordinaire, Brennan Presley with the TD.
Yeah, he was a defensive MVP in that final last year, but 2 touchdowns as well in the championship. Nice job. Again, Abe Guerrero, tip your cap to him. He's been outstanding all day. A smart lineman, 300-pound bench press, 96 GPA. Good job, Abe.
So Espo. Rob Esposito on for the point after attempt. And his kick is up, and it is good. So the lead extended now for the Gales. Excuse me, it was no good, the PAT. So it's 33-9 is the lead. You take a look at the upcoming schedule. What a fun game that'll be. We know Rocco Del Priore watching this one at a Farrell. We saw them, last week, right? Go to St. Anthony's to get a win. And now they're looking to end a winning streak, which will be extended to 16 straight games. Another trip to the island for Spags. And then it's the rivalry game to end the regular season against Archbishop Stepanak.
It's hard to believe, right? This game was 7-3 at halftime. So if you're some of those coaches who are looking at, playing prep down the stretch here, maybe look at what Chaminade was doing in that first half. But an impressive response by the Gales in the second half.
And I think when Tom Claro and his coaching staff will go back and they'll watch film, maybe even today, certainly tomorrow, they'll see those windows of opportunity, right? And when you play a team like Iona, the defending champions, you've got to capitalize on those windows. Like a first and goal from the first and 10 from the 11, that's got to be a touchdown. It can't be a field goal. You had multiple opportunities, thanks to your defense, to punch the ball in. Listen, also credit to Iona, no doubt, with what they stepped up and did defensively, but a lot of points left on the board, or left off the board right now for Chaminade.
Yeah, they had their chance. They had their chance for sure. Similar with St. Anthony's, you had some opportunities, but this isn't perhaps the best team in the state by accident. They know how to finish the job.
Carnevale bounces it to himself, goes over the middle, has Powers deep, and what a catch by Sean Powers.
Yeah, Sean Powers, have a fourth quarter, young man. It's great to see a guy like Powers who put all this time getting faster, stronger, living in the weight room here at Chaminade, and showing his ability to beat a really good corner there in Sangaré.
But with all those opportunities in the first half that went awry, I think I go back to the wire, right? You come for the king, you best not miss.
Yeah, that recovery by Smith, they needed to punch that in for sure.
Carnevale, the out route, and that is incomplete.
Yeah, Christian Birch-Trani in there. You know, I think it's hard, right? You go back to losing Murray, who was kind of the go through guy for the tight end, a safety blanket for Carnevale. You know, 2 touchdowns, 16 grabs before his injury. Definitely missing him on the offense.
Carnevale time goes over the top, and it's Fashi.
Yeah, Fashi is a sophomore from Glen Cove. Known more for his blocking. But good job, good catch there. Meet Mr. Camacho. Not too many guys break his tackles.
3rd down and 4.
So 3rd and 4 for the Flyers. I think it speaks to how great this league is, right? You've got to go back-to-back weeks, Iona, St. Anthony's, both teams in last year's championship game. Carnevale somehow ducks under that pressure and then just gets laid out. Josh Simmons.
Yeah, I think he got a first down, though. Yeah, look at him escaping here. Pressure all day long in his grill. Does a good job, and then that 6'5" laying the boom. But that's been Trujillo, man. He's been all over the football, all over the backfield.
Good look there at Tom Claro. In our conversation, so with him, he said, listen, you know, he doesn't want to put a number on, like, the year plan that he has, right? Because it's fluid. He said you didn't stop at year 1 after what was a terrific first year, where the Flyers went from 1-8 the year before to 8-4 and a semifinalist in the AAA. But it is all, you know, there's different parts of it. It's about winning now, but also changing the culture. And it's also then about, in that culture change, bringing in a lot of football first kind of guys. Over the middle, that's incomplete. Chaminade, and we see it at St. Anthony's too, right? A lot of great athletes, a lot of great lacrosse players playing kind of a secondary sport for them in the fall, but looking to get more of those serious football guys. And there are those guys in the program, just wants more of them.
Yeah, it's just he was brutally honest. He says last year we had a bunch of seniors, kind of a perfect way for him to start. And now it's about trying to mold them, recruiting, right, getting guys in here who love the pigskin.
Interception, which should basically seal the game. Lamar Lewis, the LL Express.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting following him, following his recruiting. He has all the tools that you're looking for at the D1 level. It starts with pressure by Farrell up the middle and just elite ball skills by Lewis. You see why he plays both sides of the football.
Terrific bloodlines. And Spagnola said in about 3 to 6 months, expecting him to be a scholarship player.
Yeah, when like the second word out of a coach's mouth who's very respected is freak in terms of an athlete, you know, those are words, you know, reserved for the greats, right? Javon Curse called the freak, right? To use that to describe his game is impressive.
Some pressure. Guzman still low pass. Another flag. It was Trapani to on the pressure.
Yeah, a lot of near misses by Trapani, but you see the hype. You see why the coaches think he's the most talented guy in red. Always around the ball.
That's a penalty against Iona, says Alex Toussaint. And also now, I mean, look, you're a minute 34 away from this, but how impressive is it, again, when you play not only in the AAA of the Catholic League, but then that non-conference, right? You're always playing a Jersey team, as Iona does. You will now be 6-0, and your winning streak is now extended to 16 consecutive games. That is tremendously impressive. Spag said it to us even last week. I don't remember us getting out to this kind of a start. Usually there's like that blip. Maybe you lose to a Bosco or a Bergen. They won that game this year, going to Paramus Catholic and winning it 58-48. They have beaten all comers, and they are now improving to 6-0, 4-0 in the league. And again, some more evidence on why that they are the team to beat this year.
Yeah, Spag said we expect to win, but we haven't always won early on. But now they expect to win, and they're winning. And all systems go. The Gales are rolling.
And Chaminade, after a great start, they'll now lose for the second time in their last 3 games. They're 4-3, 2-2 in the league. And now it's St. Anthony's week for them, an opportunity for them to maybe bounce back against the St. Anthony's team coming in off a big win over Cardinal Hayes last night.
Yeah, St. Anthony's is going to look for a little revenge, right, for that last year. I mean, you know, they had the last laugh last year getting to the final, but they definitely have this game circled on the calendar much later in the year compared to last year. You know, you can watch all the tape you want, but when you put St. Anthony's and Chaminade on the field, all bets are off. You're in for a war.
So big win for Iona Prep here at Gold Star Stadium. Crew Davis. That was a 4th down run, an early pivotal play of this one. He gets in. But then the Chaminade defense would come up big. Lucas Smith with a fumble recovery. They couldn't punch the ball in. Julian Guzman had no problem doing that. Chaminade did get on the board. They do find the end zone. Sean Powers from Sean Carnavale, but it was few and far between as the defense for Iona Prep came up big, as the Gales will go back to New Rochelle victorious yet again. For our entire varsity media crew, our executive producer, Ben Turchin, our associate producer, Chris Sweeney, technical director, Becca Kazaks, for Steve Ferrandino and Ron Pierre, bringing you all the moving images. For my broadcast partner, Brian Soper, Dylan Butler, thanking you for joining us from Mineola. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Varsity Media Sports Network.